Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? What I want to talk about today is the term food insecurity. And this has been in the news a lot lately. And there's actually a list of warning signs, and it's really quite disturbing if you ask me. And I want to share this list with you as all of us deal with inflation with just about everything. And it doesn't matter if it's food, just everyday items that we use like shampoo, soap, laundry detergent, or even just paying our bills like our electric bill or water bill or phone bill, right? And sooner or later, it's going to impact how we eat, right? So the 7 warning signs of food insecurity that is affecting you is this. The first one, you sacrifice, okay, spending money on other necessities in order to buy food. So I want you to just sit and think, what are some things that you actually sacrifice spending money on just so you can eat? Okay. Are you saying, well, I have to pay the electric bill instead of eating this week because, I got to keep the lights on because my kids, right? Are you foregoing, just putting gas in your car because, well, I work from home anyway, that type of thing. The second one, you purposely eat smaller servings to conserve the food that you have. Or are you doing intermittent fasting? Okay. See, these are things that that go through my head. Okay. I and my husband, we actually practice intermittent fasting. Okay. So, these are just things that I want you to actually sit down and think about. Okay. The third one, do you skip meals? Okay. Or do you actually eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then possibly a snack? Like when you're watching TV or whatever the case may be. I honestly, this is just me and me being honest with you. I have not eaten breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then a snack. It's been years. I eat dinner. I eat dinner. I have always been that person. I would rather have something to drink than something to eat. But I have screwed my body up with that. I truly have. That's why I have hypothyroidism. And that's why I cannot lose weight without being under my doctor's care. And that's why, my doctor, she is so concerned about my health and especially my heart that she actually put me on a new medication. I told you guys about this. It's called Wegovy. And I had to take a weekly injection just to try and lose some weight, which I have. I've lost 27 pounds since I started this in March because there was so much pressure being put on my heart that she was afraid that I was just literally going to pass away. And plus I have the hypothyroidism because I literally could not lose a pound, And she would ask me, well, are you active? Yeah, I am not a bump on a log. I really, truly am not. I practice intermittent fasting. I do not sit there and just gorge and eat and eat and eat and eat. I never have, but I literally destroyed my body. I destroyed my body because I was not practicing good eating, healthy habits by eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner and, things like that. So the next thing is you choose the very cheapest foods possible as a rule. Well, sure, a lot of us do, especially if we have large families. I have a family of 8. So I have to go with the cheapest route in order to feed a family of 8, So that in itself is not a bad thing, as long as, you are putting at least protein on the table every single night. Or every other night. Okay. The next thing is you eat less nutritious foods because they're cheaper. See, that is something that we should not be doing, but a lot of us find ourselves doing that. because, hey, it's cheaper and it's what I can afford, right? So the next thing is you eat more highly processed foods because they're cheaper. That is the scary thing. I mean, we should all try to be away from the highly processed foods because they are so bad for our bodies. Or I think that our bodies work like pretty much overtime to try to digest those foods that it's so dangerous. It really truly is. I think that it would be better if we could all pretty much eat from our gardens, but it's just not possible for a lot of us, The next thing is your health is negatively affected by these food choices. Yeah, I found that myself, and I'm sure that a lot of you find that for yourselves as well. So I know that people are cutting things out of their budgets, and many have said, well, I got to cut food out of my budget. I have to stop buying this and stop buying that. So substitution, I do this and I do that and I do this and I do that. So, here are some things that I actually, just asking people, people that I know, okay, my neighbors, my friends, family members. They said, well, I stopped getting tea and a donut each morning on the way to work. Well, you know what? That's not such a bad thing, is it? Even though it was National Donut Day yesterday. I found that we eat out on weekends, one meal a day. Okay, well, eating out every once in a while, if it's a special occasion, it's not bad. I mean, if you're going to, celebrate something, an anniversary, a birthday, it's not bad, right? Making these copycat recipes during the week and going on a picnic instead. That's what it's all about. I happen to absolutely love Pinterest and I go on there all the time to find the most amazing recipes, and I find how to make them and they turn out beautifully. Someone else said cooking more from scratch, eating out less, and not stopping for Starbucks or fast foods. Ooh, someone said Starbucks, but I can relate to this. Cooking from scratch is one of the best ways that we can save money and feed our families for literally pennies on the dollar, right? So the next one is also, I have been making less meat meals and meals that make leftovers. Absolutely. My thing that I love to do is casseroles. Everybody loves a good casserole, right? So I love to make good casseroles, and I make casseroles that last us 2 days. So the next thing is that someone said to me was groceries. I used to shop once or twice a month at $400 a pop, stocking up on essentials, maybe some extras like cookies or snacky food. Now I keep it under $200 bi-monthly, and we only have dinner and eat something very light for breakfast and lunch. Ramen has made back onto my grocery list as a supplement to meals. Instead of cooking a whole chicken breast per person, there's 5 in a household. I now cut it up. 4 breasts, add carrots, rice, or potatoes. But you know what? That's not that bad. That's not that bad, especially when you're cutting up those chicken breasts. If you're, doing diced chicken and, you're making like a stir fry, it's excellent. It's excellent way, So it's really not, you're not going too off track with what you actually like to eat. You know what I mean? And ramen, listen, I have a good stockpile of ramen in this house, but that's because the grandkids and my son and daughter-in-law, they eat it like it's going out of style, right? So someone else said, I was just adding up my groceries for the month. 2 people, $524. I've got to cut back even more. It's kind of hard when inflation is killing every single one of us, and when you're literally just buying the essentials. It is so hard to cut back on that grocery bill, Someone else said more portion control, no waste with food, recreate leftovers into another meal. Yes, recreating meals. what I like to do, one of my favorite things to do, and I'm being honest here, when I make my big pot of sauce, right? I make my big pot of sauce and I put 2 different kinds of meat, or sometimes 3 kinds of meat. I'll do steak, chicken, and sausage, right? And then with the extra sauce that's left over, the next day I'll make a big thing of chili, and then I'll make cornbread on the side. So that's just one way of doing things, like how I like to do them. Okay, so we're getting 2 meals out of that 1 pot of sauce. Okay. So the next person said, buying less food, only go shopping when I absolutely need something, cooking a lot of beans and cornbread. There's nothing wrong with beans and cornbread. There's really not. Rice, beans, and cornbread, that's one heck of a meal, man. It really, truly is. So it doesn't take a whole lot to go from, wow, prices are really going up, to actual food insecurity. All right. And just a heads up, pay attention, okay? Especially to those around you who may need a little help right now, okay? And a lot of us need help, okay? And even the ones that you don't think that need help, they really do. They really do, okay? They just don't like to say anything because they're embarrassed, all right? All right, guys, I'm out of here. I will see you in the next one, okay? You stay safe. You stay positive. You keep prepping. And as always, fearless. Ciao.